Good morning, class. Today we are going to start the new chapter, Physical Quantities and Measurement. You have already studied in your previous class that density is equal to mass upon volume, and that the unit of density, the SI unit, is kg per meter cube, and another unit of density is gram per centimeter cube. Then you have already studied this also, that 1000 kg per meter cube is equal to 1 gram per cc. So these are the things that you need to remember always. Then in order to measure mass, what do? We have certain equipments for that. For example, very ordinarily you might have seen the common balance that the vegetable vendors etc. they have, that taraju, right? Then, besides that, we have spring balances or physical balance in laboratories, or you might have seen for in grocery shops they have electronic electronic balances, right? So first of all, we need to study about the spring balance. So see, this is the picture of a spring balance. This also you might have seen somewhere in grocery shops, etc. So what is the function of the, how does it work? It has a spring attached to this hook. Can you see the hook over here? And then it is attached to something. Attached to this hook is a spring behind this uh, calibration. You can see the graduated thing over here, the surface which is shown here. Besides this, behind this, it is having a spring attached to it, attached to this hook. So you can see initially just the first mark on the scale, the topmost one, is the lowest marking, and then as the pointer comes down, the scaling is increasing. That means the lighter things will be, for the lighter things the spring will be up, and as you go down, the mass is increasing. So as you put any suspend any object with this hook, what happens? The spring will come down and will rest at a particular point at that point, and that particular point, that particular scale measures the mass of this object. Okay, then the other thing with which we can measure is physical balance. Okay, so a physical balance is shown over here, see figure 2.2, and it also has weight box along with it. In the laboratories we have these kind of balances. So you can see here a small scale is in between, and then there is this horizontal surface, the yellow colored part, and attached to this horizontal thing we have two pans, and on one pan we have kept the weight from the weight box, and the other pan we will be putting the object which we have to weigh. Okay, so we have first you put the object over here, and then what you see, that the pointer, can you see the pointer marked over here, the yellow colored line coming from top to down up to the scale, that is called the pointer. So when the pointer should be exactly at the zero marked over there, marked on the scale. If the pointer is slightly left or right, that means we have not balanced the physical balance. Okay, so what do? We put the weights from the weight box on the other pan, and both things should be balanced. When both are balanced, then the pointer comes to the 0 point, and in this way we find the mass. Whatever weight we have kept on the other pan, that gives us the mass of this object. Okay, now one thing that you need to know, that in case of spring balance we were hanging something on the hook, and the object was pulled downwards due to the gravitational force. Okay, That means the spring balance is measuring the weight of the object, and because weight is proportional to mass, so it will also give us the mass. Okay, so the spring balance gives us the weight and the physical balance measures the mass. Okay, so then you have how to measure the volume of an irregular solid. In order to measure the volume of an irregular solid, this again you have studied in class 7th. See what we are doing. We have this measuring cylinder and we have filled water up till 20 ml. Okay, 20 ml of water is filled into it. Now if you immerse a solid that you have to measure, the irregular solid, you just tie it with some string or something and then immerse it inside the water. The water level rises. Now the water has raised up to 25 ml. So the difference in the water level or the difference in the volume of water will give us the volume of the object. So here 5 ml water is raised, that means the volume of irregular solid is 5 ml. So this will give us the volume of our irregular solid. Another method to measure the volume of irregular solids is this Eureka can. So what is it, a Eureka can? It is this can, can you see the bigger one which is having a pouch along with it? So this when you what you need to do, you just fill the water up to the just starting of the spout, and when you immerse this solid into it, the water level rises up, and the extra water that has been risen up, that will come out through the spout, and there you put another beaker over there that will easily measure the amount of water that is coming out of it. So the change in volume that will come into the beaker, and you can measure whatever volume has come into that beaker already has the graduations over it, so you will measure it and that will give us the volume of irregular solid. Then in order to measure the density, what you will do, the mass you have already calculated, the volume you have already calculated, simply density is equal to mass upon volume. Now the other topic is determination of density of a liquid. So okay, so you can go through this. In order to determine the density of a liquid, again we need the mass of the given volume of liquid. Then I think this video is getting bigger, so I'll pause it over here and send another video.